the model 1898 Krag Rifle. This was the United States' first smokeless powder military issue rifle. It started off with an earlier model. This is the last model, the 1898. There were basically two different rifle models, the 1894 and this one, and a few carbine versions. This one here is in exceptional shape, and we'll take a look at it. I've had a few of them over the years, and like this one still has its stock cartouche on there. And I checked the serial numbers on this rifle. This rifle was built in 1900, as the stock stamp says. And there's your receiver markings there. Altogether, a pretty clean gun. Has the 1902 rear sight, blued, nice wood, and the original front sight on there. These rifles were replaced by the Springfield model 1903, and production of these guns stopped somewhere, I think, in 1903. So now we did kind of an overview. We're going to take a closer look at how to load it, the safety, the magazine cutoff, and the details and features of this. Also, I have some of the original ammunition. This ammunition is dated 1911, but that's a 220 grain round nose full metal jacket bullet. That is issue ammo. So now we're going to take a closer look at the gun. Okay, here we have the action here. And basically, it's a bolt action gun. Has one single forward locking lug, and I believe the way you take the bolt out, you kind of lift up on the extractor and pull it right out. So how this works, you got one lug, and I believe this down in here also locks up on the receiver bridge, and you got your one locking lug, which locks into the receiver down there. And there's your magazine. Okay, we'll get the bolt back in. Alright, we got the bolt back in. Didn't want to waste video time. Okay, this is your safety. I think it's a two-position safety. Go over there, and you're on safe. The bolt won't open. But also, if you throw the safety on when it's in the closed position, it locks it and you can't cock it. So you can lock the gun up with the safety when it isn't pulled back. See, that's your bolt. On this side of the gun, this is your magazine cutoff. Now on the different models, one of them with this switch in this position, the magazine cutoff is on. When you throw the switch up like that, it's off. The kind of variance between the two models is that was reversed on one of the other models. When it's up, the magazine was shut off, and when you throw it down, the magazine would function. Now the magazine itself, this is a side-loading box magazine. You place the cartridges in and they're pushed around almost like a rotary magazine that comes out on the other side. So here I'll show you how you load it. You take your cartridges and just drop them down in there. Now one of the criticisms of this gun is this is not as fast as the Mauser with stripper clips. Okay, and that was one of the reasons why this rifle kind of didn't stay in service long. Then you close the box and this arm will push the cartridges up and around. Now we got the magazine cutoff on. As you see, doesn't work. But notice how the cartridges come up around the bottom of the receiver and out to the side. And then what you would do is throw your magazine cutoff lever up, and in the upwards position you will feed cartridges from the mag. Now, to unload the gun's pretty simple. You open this up and just pull out the cartridges. So that's why these guns were kind of well liked for hunting, and a lot of them were converted into hunting rifles. They're all empty now. And they were a popular sporting rifle when sold on the surplus market. Now this particular gun, the rear sight on this, I believe is the model 1902. You can go to the Krag Collectors Forum or website, and they'll show you the different variations of the sights, and that's very informative. Now how this one worked, this one, if you loosen this, you could slide your elevation up and tighten it. And this rear sight was also adjustable for windage. You loosen this, and if you can see, you can get a better look. There's your marks. You can fine adjust this windage wise. And also on this sight, something interesting. If you look up here, you see there's these detents in this little, if you slide this sheet metal thing up, it's pretty stiff, I ain't gonna fool with it. But you slide this up into the other detent, and then a little fine peep sight will appear where the notch is. More or less a precision shooting sight. So that's a pretty neat thing right there. These guns are very accurate, okay, and the bore on this one is excellent. This one's in really nice condition. You got your sling swivel, and then you mounted a knife bayonet up here at the bayonet lug, and your stacking swivel here on this gun. Now another interesting thing about this gun, we're going to shut the camera off for a second and set this up. If you look on the butt plate, you have this little trap door thing in here. Now most of these I've seen, this is missing. These rifles were issued with a 3-piece cleaning rod. Get that out of there. And this one still has the 3 sections, and there's a little oiler in there. I got to flip. See, the stock is cut at an angle, the oiler drops down, and then the cleaning rods are going in little holes there. So you got to kind of flip this up over and around and fish that thing out of there. And you have a little cylinder that you filled with oil and had a little application needle. I'm not too familiar with the accessories to this. I don't know if there was a handle that went with this cleaning rod thing, but you put the 3 sections together like that, and one of them had a slot for a patch, and that was the cleaning rod. They did away with the cleaning rod under the barrel on this, and I think the carbine had 2 sections in their buttstock. So that's about it for the gun, the operation, and that's a pretty basic gun. When these were sold as surplus in the 20s and that, a lot of them were sporterized and cut down. So it's kind of difficult to find them in the original military condition. But I was lucky enough to run across this one and get it in my collection. And it's pretty nice. And eventually we'll go out and do a couple videos of us shooting it, checking the accuracy.